Welcome to the Repeat Offenders Fishing Show. And surprise! This is not salt water. We're fishing 100% fresh water today. This is one of the biggest German man-made lakes. It's huge and it goes down to about 300 feet, 90 meters. Obviously, we're gonna try to catch some, open water pike. The bite's been slow so far, but it's been cooling down. And the weather's overcast today. It's around 5 to 8 degrees Celsius, so we're pretty confident. And basically, the water is very, very, very clear. You can basically see the bottom when you're at around 8 feet of depth. Very natural baits are the way to go here. I'm fishing one of those big eels. The other one's got one of those 3D trouts running already. And also, it's very important to fish some fluorocarbon leader. Just to make sure that the fish really don't know what's going on until they hit the bait, hit the lure. And we're basically trying to troll, somewhere around the drop-off, not really shallow, not really deep yet, maybe around 20 meters. The line that tells me where the surface, the warm surface water is at about 4.8 meters. So I'll probably troll one right above 4 meters and one a little bit below and see if we can get a take. It's first light. We're going to show you this a little later on when we have a little more light to shoot with. Okay. Depth is 28 meters. I'll just let this thing run out. Okay, let me tell you a little bit about what we're doing here. Today we're not casting, we don't have spinning reels with us really. What we have is trolling gear. It's a little feistier than what we usually use. We can actually troll, baits up to 10 inches with that. And we're not after, pike that we usually target that, are structure oriented. These are pelagic fish. This is almost blue water fishing. You're in the wide open, and what you're actually looking for, what the pike are looking for, is bait fish. And on these echo sounders that have that side scan, you can really see those schools of fish really well. Once you find them, you actually know what kind of depth you need to fish in, and then you just put out 2, 3, maybe 4 rods. And I usually use 2 that are deeper. Those are closer in, and closer into the boat, and they're tighter. And then on the outsides, I use longer rods with baits or with lures that run a little bit shallower, just to try to get into that gap where the bait fish are. And as you can see, it looks like nothing at all on the echo sounder. Sometimes you don't see a signal, you don't see indicators for big fish, and boom, one of the rods just goes. All right, people, 20 meters above ground. And the first fish of the day took us about 3 hours, and then we had 2 contacts within 2 minutes. First one I really didn't know what happened. Just had a contact, and as soon as I lifted the rod, there was nothing there. And the second one worked much better. Don't be afraid of big lures. That's a Turus Uko in about, 30 centimeters. And he really wanted that thing. Oh yeah. A little surgery required. Very good hook hold. The gills are all intact. There we go. And I'd say that's close to 90. Very, very full belly. They're really building up to spawn. Very nice fish. First result. Awesome. One of the baits that I really like to use is a jerk bait. It's the Buster Jerk, and obviously the Buster Jerk wouldn't make much sense. It's 32 meters right here, because you just can't reach the schools of baitfish that are somewhere in between 6 to 15 meters, I'd guess. Now obviously it helps to have a downrigger, which we don't. So usually I just take a little lead weight with me, you know, with a little swivel and a little clip on that I can just put in right here to the no knot. And as you can see, it really doesn't influence the running of the bait much. It's still doing those nice little slow wobbles. And now with the push of a button, I can get it down to about 6 to 8 meters. Really nice. And basically right on the money. Looking at the echo sounder, there's another school of baitfish right there. Let's see if something happens in about a minute. Another thing that people keep asking me is, you know, what trolling speed we're using. Basically, if you do have an echo sounder that has a GPS system included, you can actually see your speed, you know, up to the decimal. I would keep it between 2 and 4 knots basically, because, you know, it's winter time, the pike are slow, they're sluggish. Yeah, they do appreciate an easy meal. I wouldn't just rip it through. If you do not have an echo sounder that supplies that, I would just have an eye on, you know, little bubbles or foam or something like that on the surface that comes by. And so basically what you want to try to do is you want a nice afternoon stroll around the block. You know, you want to be able to walk that at a leisurely pace. Then you're probably right on the money. You know, go as slow as you possibly can and still have action on the lures. And also make sure test every lure right by the boat with the speed that you're going to be using, because some baits really require a little different speed than others. Basically, the rubber sheds, they move more sluggish when the wobblers or crankbaits are already really moving well. And if you have a speed that actually gets some movement into the rubber sheds, sometimes that really is too fast for the wobblers. So some baits really don't mix, some lures don't mix. Make sure that everything's okay, that they all run well with the speed that you're choosing, and try to run as slow as you can. Just keep remembering an afternoon stroll. Well, as you can see, it's getting dark. We're gonna go back to the landing. Well, we had that one take today. We made the most of it. We got the fish into the boat. Nothing else has happened. Except for that one submerged tree line that we didn't know about, that we lost a couple of big lures on it. And you need big lures to troll for these big winter pike, and big lures usually means big money too. So get one of these, get a lure saver, just in case. You just put the main line in here, let it slide down, and try to hook into either the snag or your lure and rip it free. It did work for us 2 times. It didn't work for us 3 times, but hey, the 2 times that it did work, it paid for itself right there. Get a lure saver, get out there in the winter time. The fish are there. They might be lazy, but you might get lucky. Thanks for watching. Bye.